changed my nights into 1,000 rainbows. For through your love, I found more strength than I've ever known. Your love that's sent from above has changed my nights into 1,000 rainbows. For through your love, I found more strength than I've ever known. My dwelling place, my present help in time of trouble. Through the calm, through the storm, I give you praise. Lord, you are Worldwide Podcast.
You want to talk about it? Let's talk. You want to speak about it? Let's speak. We're going to spread this encouragement from the church to the street. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. The Lekeisha Mosley Show. And they talk about nothing but the unseen and unspoken issues while providing encouragement and love and understanding. She talks about issues that people in high places and influences are afraid to discuss publicly. Stay tuned. It's about to get real live. And you're tuned in to the Lekeisha Mosley Show.
What's up, family? Uh-oh, we coming in hot. What's up, family? What's going on? Guess what time it is? It's time for the Lekeisha Mosley Show. What's up, Lekeisha? What's up? You there, Lekeisha? All right, y'all, let's give her a few minutes to dial in. Well, we looking at her. All right, mic check, Lekeisha Mosley, are you in? All right, y'all, let's give her a few minutes. We got the Lekeisha Mosley Show coming up with Last Call. That's right. Last Call's on the show with us tonight. They're in a virtual studio. That's right. We don't know where they are right now. We know they're from Bermuda, but they somewhere here in the U.S. We have a great time. So tune in, share this file. We're right here on Facebook Live. We're on Spreaker Radio. For those of you who want to listen to us on Spreaker Radio, we'll drop the link on Facebook Live so you can stream it. All right, let's have a good time, y'all. Here we go. Hey, Lekeisha, you there? Oh, my bad. I got one button I forgot. There we go. All right, Lekeisha, you there now, aren't you? All right, I hear you now.
Absolutely. I'm here. Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. We ready to have a powerful show tonight. So,
Oh, absolutely.
so Batman is on mute. What's up, last call? What's going on?
We are here. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, there you go. They probably said, where Batman at?
Okay.
I had one button I forgot to push. That's all good, y'all. Everybody good?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
doing great.
All right. Well, y'all have a great show. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Lekeisha Mosley Show featuring Last Call. Have a great show.
Awesome. Well, good evening, everyone. This is Lekeisha with the Lekeisha Mosley Show, and I'm honored to have my amazing special guest, Last Call, which is Tracray and Adrian. How you doing, guys?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so grateful to have you with me tonight because we have a really, really amazing topic to talk about and to discuss everything that's all about you. So I'm looking forward for us to get started.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to talk about appreciation, and it's about, all things working together in our purpose in life. And it's so important for us to discuss those things because as life happens, like, when we have accomplishments and challenges that happen in life, and when we reflect back, it's important for us to really dive in and say, hey, wow, I really appreciate the good, the bad, and the ugly, and, sometimes we don't feel that way when it's really bad, so I just want to know, from you throughout this through this segment, just your feelings on some of the things that I'm going to talk about because our listening audience really wants to know how you feel and what's your intake about it. So first, I would like to know who you are. Please let everyone know, Tracray and Adrian, who you are. Last call.
Oh, alrighty. Yes. So my name is Adrian. My name is definitely Tracray. This is Tracray speaking right now, and Adrian here is with me, and we're from the lovely island of Bermuda. We're laughing. We actually. Look, it's 10 o'clock here, y'all. I'm sorry, we're tired. So we just released, we have a single out that's on radio right now entitled Victory. We were working with super producer Fred Jerkins of Dark Child Gospel, and our manager is Apostle Varro Howard. And so we're just excited for the opportunity to spread this amazing song around the world. Just today, we recently received an Instagram post of a little girl singing it, and so it's just been a blessing. But we're here, as I said, we're Bermudian, and we're just excited about what the Lord's doing in our lives.
Amen. I love the laughter. I love that both of you are joyful because that's what I'm all about. I say, this show is, it's talking about different topics that are needed. Everyone needs to hear about, what we're feeling and things like that. But I always say, everything needs to be fun. It needs to be light because that's what God is. A lot of people don't realize that God is having a good time. He's
right.
Not drowning. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, he's really just dancing. He's really uplifting, And when we really focus on him, we really begin to feel the joy of the Lord. You know what I mean? And we could tell when we're not, right?
That's right. That is right.
Absolutely. So it's funny to me, when we do think about, those things in life, when we think about, our accomplishments, right? But when we think about our challenges, it's not really funny when it's happening, but let time go by and, a lot of things get resolved. It is funny, sometimes, what made us not laugh before. You look back and say, wow, I can't believe that really made me feel so down and out, but it doesn't make me feel that way. Do you agree with me? Did you have experiences where, you look back and at that time you were feeling really down and it was a struggle, but right now you're saying, wow, that's not a struggle anymore?
Definitely. There have been, this is Adrian speaking, the real Adrian. There there have definitely been moments in life where I've gone through something and it felt tragic at the moment, or it got me upset, or sometimes it would, and that would last for a while, not realizing the lessons that I would learn from that. I would also be able to benefit from going through that, but when you're in the midst of it, it feels like the world's going to end, but it's only when you come out of that and you're able to go into another situation in life, and you can use what you learned from that to get out of the next thing that comes your way. So I try to use every single situation as a learning opportunity and a stepping stone, for growth.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And, sometimes, you feel like, that the world is ending, but, I love how you reflect on it, and you begin to say that, what, everything is always working out for me, so, in that being said, feeling like everything was working out for me, do you remember a time where you really began to see the pattern of Christ? Because, sometimes I look at it like baking a cake. Sometimes, you need the flour, you need the egg, you need the sugar, you need the milk, and you blend it all together and you create this cake. But then when you look back, the cake tastes good because you added all those ingredients to it, right? And,
definitely.
You think like, wow, isn't that amazing?
It is.
I feel like, sometimes when you look at the pieces of the cake, like the sugar is your patience, the butter is, what I'm saying, your long suffering. And, the other ingredients are, that strength, Yeah. Tell me about that, those pieces, like, when you think about those pieces, how those, really fit in you and how you really gain strength from it.
Well, I can give this is Troy speaking again. I can give an example. Before I went to college, Bermuda is a very small island, and there are great opportunities here, but for the music industry, it's a bit difficult to get into. And so I went to Full Sail University in Orlando, and when I went there, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any contact or any connections, and so I guess that was me just getting out there, like you said, with the patience, with the faith, with the long suffering, all the ingredients separated, they haven't been mixed yet. And so in my classroom, I was sitting in front of a young lady by the name of Erica Hensford, and she just, when we went around to say, what kind of music we want to do, this was in class, I was like, I want to do gospel. And she was like, well, what church? So she asked me during our break, what church do you go to in Orlando? And I said, I haven't found a church yet. So she invited me to this church. It was relatively a big church, and upon going there, eventually I joined the choir and then the praise team, and then the next thing I knew, I was traveling with Bishop Clint Brown, who's the bishop there, and then LaRue Howard, who's also a recording artist. And it's just amazing how just having faith and putting things together, and then Christian Dentley, who's a member of Take Six, produced my first solo album, and then from there I met Brittany Gakowski, who helped Last Call with their first album, and then from there we met Apostle Varro Howard, and so it's just amazing how it all came together. Like once got, and I feel like the cake is ever being made, like it almost feels like it's more ingredients, or it's never, or maybe we bake one cake and then we move to a different kind of cake, or whatever. But that's just a small testimony of how God's faithfulness works when you do have those ingredients, and when you're consistent, and persistent in your dream. And so, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. I love how you broke that down, just as, how when you're baking this cake, the cake is never complete because there is another cake and another cake and another version, you know what I mean? And how, everything works together. But you said something that was so powerful. You said that, within everything that happened, all the pieces coming together, you didn't have to work in finding those pieces. They just came together. You know what I mean? So isn't that amazing just how Christ is, right? When everything comes together and he brings it together, we didn't have to work it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's the baker.
Exactly. Oh, my gosh. Exactly. He is the baker. And I love how you just said that, because I'm a transparent moment, and I love being transparent on this show. I have portrayed myself as to be the master baker. I have portrayed myself as to be the master creator, and sometimes in life you begin to think that you are the one doing it because you're afraid of failing. Yeah. Not realizing God is the creator. God is the one that abundantly makes everything work out. And sometimes you go on this spill of thinking that you're the baker, that you're the creator, that you put all the pieces together. And then when you tragically fail and realize, I got to surrender. God is the only one that made this happen. Have you felt this way before, because that's transparent for me.
Yeah, most definitely, and time and time again, I've seen, where I've been wrong, where I can see where God would have did it differently, So I mean, we live and we learn. Absolutely,
it's amazing that when you live and learn, when you have that type of success, success comes when you begin to learn the lessons, when you begin to understand what God is teaching you. Sometimes we do think that our trials and our tribulations and those struggles that we go through, is somebody else trying to attack us, somebody else trying to dive into us and, hurt us, right? But really it is rooting out of us a lot of the pride, a lot of the issues, that we have within us, Have you ever felt that way before?
Most definitely. This is Adrian speaking. I feel like 2018 was full of those type of circumstances and situations, And we were actually ministering in D.C. on New Year's Eve, and God had dropped the word in my spirit, and it simply went like this: that 2018 was the year of preparation, and 2019 would be the year of elevation. So, you take all the lessons that you learned, from all your shortcomings and doing things on your own and falling short and things like that. And when 2019 comes, you're able to take those lessons that are learned. So when those things come your way, you're able to just jump over each and every one of them. And you're able to elevate and go to a higher level because you have that knowledge. You have that strength that you gained from going through that difficult situation, or you have the knowledge that you acquired from going through something and it fell through, knowing not to do it again. So I believe 2019 would definitely be a good year to be in Christ, most definitely.
Wow, that's amazing because, without 2018, it sounds like it for me, hearing what you're saying, your 2019 wouldn't be prepared, right? Yeah. Like you felt, isn't that amazing? Because I have to agree with you. 2018 was something for me. And it's like, oh my gosh, why God? Why? You have that moment sometimes, like, what's going on? And then you realize, wow, I needed that. Like, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have had the strength and the knowledge to go through my 2019, in full effect and bold, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing. Sometimes, we do need to reflect and remember those things and appreciate, like, that all things work together. And that's what's so powerful about this show today. It's so powerful for us to have that reflection time to think about that, like, wow, God, thank you for all the good, the bad, and the ugly, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be moving forward in my present now. You know what I'm saying? So I have a question for you. You guys were worship leaders, a while ago, I want to say, 2015? You were worship leaders. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. Oh, you are? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we're still worship leaders. We worship at two different churches. We go to two separate churches. So I'm the worship leader at my church. I actually work full-time at my church. I'm the creative arts director. And then Adrian worship leads at his church, and he's also a minister there. So we've been doing that. Like, that was first, you know what I mean? And then through that, I used to go to Adrian's church at one point, and we became friends and all of that. And after singing background vocals for another friend's concert, we kind of realized that, we wanted to join Last Call, and now we're here, But we still lead worship. We even lead worship around the island at different churches too. There are other churches that we assist with their worship teams, and sometimes we're brought in to just specifically do that, like help train up a worship team and things like that. So it's definitely very much so a part of what we do separately, and definitely what you would see collectively as Last Call. If you ever come to a concert, we love the blaring guitars and we love the high energy, but there definitely will be moments of praise and worship.
Wow. Well, I'm definitely coming because, that pumps me up, just worshiping the Lord, through music. It's something that's a part of my childhood. That's all I've known is music. My mom was always playing, records, that's a little old school, back in the day records, and, and that was, like soul to us, you know what I mean? So I grew up just feeling good with that. And my mom used that as a therapy, to be honest with you. She was just really in tune with music, and that was just a place for her to just really zone out and just really meditate, you know what I'm saying, on God, and just really feel good, right? So did you guys have an experience like that? Do you have like that, something like that where you grew up with that?
This is Adrian. Growing up, living with my mother, she was a single parent, and I was a single only child for 10 years before she had my brother. And I can remember riding in the car, and I can remember the radio playing. It wasn't necessarily gospel music or anything like that. It was more so hearing, 90s music. Good. And I think the reason I have such an appreciation for 90s music is because that's all I heard growing up. So whenever I hear it, it definitely throws me back to a good time to my childhood. But as far as Christian music and gospel music, the only time I would really hear it would be when I would be downstairs of my old church, and I would be in Sunday school, and I would hear the pipe organ going, and I would hear people praising and worshiping the Lord. But I never really made it upstairs. But I definitely remember Sunday mornings, doing my Sunday school lessons, and I would hear the adults upstairs having a great time. I always wondered what it was like up there.
That sounds amazing. I believe that all of us have memories that, we connect with, and then we reflect back and say, wow, I appreciate those times, because it really just made, us that, authority that we are today. And it's so grateful to be able to take all of those times and all of those experiences onto our present and really, move powerful as worship leaders, and be able to minister to each and every person that listens to us, and that really heals, because it's really healing to listen to your music. This song, Victory, it was already created before you were discovered by the producer, Fred Jerkins, and I would like to hear about this because we're getting ready to play this. So we want to really just hear about what happened with Victory, because there's so much power in it. People are being healed by just listening to this amazing song. So please tell me a little bit about, how it was created.
Yes, so Victory, the song of the hour. Victory actually, we wrote Victory maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before we actually saw Fred Jerkins at our concert. So we were having a concert in Bermuda, and Apostle Howard, who's our manager, brought a bunch of executives with her, record label executives. And so when he came, we said, like, we'll do a concert. And we actually originally had another song picked out. And so what happened was, Adrian was like, it was actually a song that Adrian wrote. And Adrian, so when I feel like I'm confusing myself. Sorry, hold on. Get my thoughts together. So what happened was, I was actually in worship, writing and just listening to God for just, downloads or whatever. And so the song came immediately during that time. I got on my piano and I played a few chords, and by the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. So I took the song and I ran to Adrian, and I was like, man, I got this song, you got to listen to it. And so he heard it, and he put the back end on, got my joy back, my peace back, my strength back, got my hope back. And it was in that moment that we decided to do Victory instead of the other song for the concert, which is very risky because when you're having a huge concert like that, to do a brand new song that no one's ever heard in front of label executives is sort of risky because you want to do songs that everyone gets with, so the label knows that people like this song. Well, we end up doing that song, and that was the song of the night. You know, it's a 5-minute song, but we end up singing it for about 10 minutes straight. And so after that, Fred Jerkins approached us and was like, you know, I'm doing a compilation album that's going to benefit families who've dealt with cancer, and I'd love to put Victory on as on a part of the project. So he actually already completed the project, and the Lord spoke to him and said, this needs to be on it. And so he decided to include it, and then shortly after that, he decided to make it the single, well, the next single. So Victory was the second single off of the album, and the album's called A Project of Healing. And now we're here today speaking to you on radio, and, you know, it's just been an amazing journey. And so what Victory means to us, it is an anthem. You know, it's a declaration that no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what storm you're facing, what trial you're going through, what mountain you're climbing, you can truly have victory. And it is an up-tempo song because we didn't want it to be lethargic and feel like you're in lament. But victory is fun. You know, you have the triumph. You have the ability to conquer anything that comes your way, so long as you're doing it through the power and in the name of Jesus. And so that's Victory.
Wow. That is totally amazing. I have so many things to say, but we're going to talk about it right after we hear Victory, this amazing creation.
Now we're here to encourage you to walk into your new season, a season of freedom and a season of victory. Here it is. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Adrian, won't you help me sing it? By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. We're gonna sing that again. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Oh, I think you got it now. Come on, lift it up. By the hand, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Oh, said I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory.
feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of double XI.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Yes, yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming back and joining us. I have the amazing gospel group Last Call, and that includes Recrae and Adrian with me, and we are out here just talking and having a good time and appreciating just everything that we have transpired in our lives right now. And we just finished listening to Victory, which is a phenomenal creation that has transformed the world. It really is, you guys. It's an anthem. You said it yourself. It is an anthem of healing. I mean, every time I hear it, I'm dancing. I'm having a good time. Was that your goal? Because I feel like it was. Was that your goal, to just heal everyone through your music?
Most definitely. We want the listeners to definitely feel the words. That we want them to apply the words to their lives. And we also like to have fun. So, dancing is definitely a plus and a bonus, especially when it's in the Lord's presence. So we wanted all of that to be accomplished.
Amazing. Amazing. And, isn't that amazing? That is so profound, because that is God's goal in order for us to have total fulfillment, total creation within being healed in everything that he is. He doesn't force it on us, but somehow he manages to, pull us into the place where we crave it. We want it. And I believe you being an example of that in your music, people are drawn to you and they're craving more music that you have, more, of your creations, because you're totally gifted in what you're doing. This is just really phenomenal. And I'm just, I know the audience out here is blessed, to have you. And so I really, yes, you guys are awesome. I'm really short for words, because just everything that you're doing, we're really, hungry for. My whole platform is really reaching out to, a lot of leaders and people that are in positions of leadership, for them to really be healed in areas of mental illness, where it comes with depression and anxiety, and all types of loss for hope. And, it's hard to really express that when you are in a position of leadership. When you're in a position, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to really talk about those things that plague you every day. When you get off the pulpit, you go home and you're drowning because you're exhausted about life and the mental things that's going on in your head. Do you feel that you support that healing, in the people around you? Have you ever experienced that, where you saw that, with a lot of people that are in leadership that are dealing with that?
Definitely. I think a lot of times people don't understand that people in leadership have a lot of weight on their shoulders, not just to lead their families or anything like that. I mean, that's very important, but also to lead the people into God's presence, to lead those who are not saved into his kingdom. I think the mandate is very important, and I think those stresses can overwhelm somebody, especially if they don't have somebody to speak to that they trust as much. A lot of leaders are very private and confidential with their lives, because not everybody can be trusted with that type of information that they have to give, or with their deepest, darkest secrets and things like that. So I do think it's very good for somebody in that position to have an accountability partner, as well as seek God daily. I mean, God is able to take away any burden, to take away any stress, to take away any problem, anxiety, you name it. He can do it, By the hands of the Almighty, we've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now we're walking in victory. By his hands, by God's hands, he is able to do the exceedingly abundantly above all we could ever ask or think. So I think it's very important to stay in the presence of the Lord. And also, in the physical term, to find somebody who can help you and that you can confide in as well.
Wow. You heard it from their mouths. Tracray and Adrian literally just ministered to you right out here, right now. And I know that, the listening audience is listening to you and really drawing, from the wisdom that you have, because your platform is huge. It is growing, and it's going to get even larger. And for you to have that firm foundation to want to heal, God's people through your music is phenomenal. I'm just so grateful for both of you taking the time out to being on the Lekeisha Mosley Show and just sharing with us just your greatness and what you have going on. Please tell everyone how, they can stay in contact with you and anything that's upcoming that's coming your way.
All right. And also, Lekeisha, thanks so much for having us. We've thoroughly enjoyed this. I know we had a lot of laughs, so that's always a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. But yes, you can follow us everywhere on social media at Last Call Worship. That's at Last Call Worship everywhere on social media. If you want to check out our YouTube videos, you can search Last Call Bermuda or Last Call Victory. If you want to purchase any of our music online, you can go just search Last Call 10,000. The number is 10000, or Last Call Victory. Also a project of healing. I think that's everything. Also, our website is www.lastcallworship.com. And if you would like to bring us to your next event, you can hit up our manager, Apostle Varl Howard. You can email her at varl920@aol.com.
Yes, perfect. Well, I'm definitely excited to stay connected with you, and I'm hearing the listener audience right now. I know they're clapping and they're willing to literally jump for anything that you have going on and stay connected with you. Definitely, if you have anything else coming up and any new projects, please, I would love to have you back on the show and letting us know, for anything that you have going on for us to spread the word to God's people.
Definitely. We will definitely to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you. And right now we are going to go into a segment of the show that's called Lekeisha's Love Letter of Healing and Encouragement and Empowerment. And this segment is going to focus on Genesis 37. And Genesis 37 is focusing on the story of Joseph. And it's focusing on a time of redemption and forgiveness. And most of you may know this story, but I'm going to just do a rough scan of the story real quick. Joseph, of course, was one of the he was the chosen. He was one of the chosen creators that was gifted in vision. And one thing about it is that his dad, Jacob, he favored him. He really did. But his other brothers did not particularly like this, so much so where they sold him into slavery and pretty much was hoping that they never seen him again because they were really jealous of the call that God had on his life. His brothers seen it. And one thing about it is that Joseph, even though he was sold into slavery, even though he, was lied on, he was doomed, as, people would say, it feels like he was doomed to die, and to live lonely, that didn't happen. Not only did Joseph triumph in prison, but he was elevated in prison. He was brung into a position of leadership in prison. And even though he got knocked down in prison, and he was, put back, it's almost like he was set back in prison. He was elevated even more in that situation, so much so where Pharaoh needed him and he needed his gift of visions in order to put Egypt in a position where they would not lack and they would be able to pass through this famine that was going to come their way. And, one thing about it is that sometimes we're in a prison. We feel like we're in a prison. We're in a bad place. We feel like that we are in a position of lack, a position that, of unfortunate, situations. We feel like it's all over. But God always has a plan. And remember, everything's always working out for us, so much so that God uses the position of prison and turns it around to where you are elevated in the prison and you become the person that everyone else needs, in order to be rescued from. So I don't know what you're going through right now. I don't know what's happening in your life where you feel like that, God isn't with you and that, you can't move forward and you can't go on. But I'm here to tell you that not only does God see you right now, but he sees the end of your journey. He sees where you're going. And I want to encourage you to let you know that, when you begin to just thank God for where you're at right now and really have a different perspective of where you're at right now in your journey, you'll begin to see how God is slowly moving you out of lack, slowly moving you out of being doomed in what you think may be the end. But God is saying, no, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what God has for you. And God always has that perspective when it comes to us. He always has that perspective that, all the dreams that he instilled in us, everything that he had, given us vision to is coming to pass. It's guaranteed. And I just want you to hold on to that and definitely begin to praise God in the midst of the storm. Praise God in the midst of this situation where you feel like you're in a prison, and understand that you're going to be broken free from all of this right now, and you're going to see just how important you are in this process, and you're going to see that God has victory for you in the end. I love you so much, and I'm thankful that you have spent this time with me on the Lekeisha Mosley Show, and every time I always want you to know, and that all you do, lead with confidence, understanding, and love always. Have a great evening.
All right, family, that was the Lekeisha Mosley Show. We got one more song by Last Call, and shout out to Apostle Verl Howard for allowing us to have Last Call on the show once again. And we wish those guys the best, and look out for them, y'all. We're going to be having those guys here real soon. That's right, here real soon in the studio. Here we go. This one's called Holy Spirit.
Omnipresent all around me when I am lost. You come and guide me. Third one in the Trinity, my comforter, Holy Spirit. Descend like a dove over water, baptize me in your love. Make me over, shifter of the atmosphere, my counselor, Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, while of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Holy Spirit,
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us, while of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
everlasting, always faithful. When I'm in doubt, you're more than able to show me the way out. Director, Holy Spirit, you can make a way out of no way. You bring me back home when I'm astray. You brighten up my day, my everything, Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move manifest your power, move among us. Well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Like a
Mighty rushing wind, let your presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire, let our hearts burn with desire.
oh yeah.
Like a mighty rushing wind,
Let your
presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire, let our hearts burn with desire. Like a mighty rushing wind, let your presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire, let our hearts burn with desire. Like a mighty rushing wind, let your presence blow within. Like an all-consuming fire, let our hearts burn with desire. Holy Spirit, manifest your power, move among us. Well of living water overflow. Holy Spirit, take control.
Take control.
Holy Spirit, manifest your power,